Good morning. Welcome to today's episode of More Than Just Task Management. My name is Anna Angelova. I'm a business coach and consultant and a co host of this daily podcast that helps you build a thriving business. And I host the podcast together with Jores Minaswant. Good morning, Jores.
Good morning, Anna. Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful Friday. Nice and sunny, but it's freezing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't start on this one. Yep.
I opened the door this morning and it was like October.
Yeah, like there is a frost advisory. It's like
Mm,
really like the May to 4 weekend is like what 2 weeks?
next week, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's anyway.
Welcome to
Well,
Canada.
we are not talking about the weather today, so don't be fooled about from the conversation we just started. Uh,
We're
we
talking about,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
We're talking about technology adoption, which is a big problem, whether it's a mid-sized or small or two people company or 2,000 people company. We faced it everywhere.
Yeah, oh yeah, everyone struggles with this. And even if you're thinking, oh, my business is different, we are a tech company, my people are very tech savvy. Uh-uh. You're not different. You employ human beings, and human beings are. I love this word. I think I've heard it from Darren Hardy. We're flawsome, awesome, and flawed. We have with come with, especially when if you are in tech, right? Like we come with an operations system that has a lot of bugs or features, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
And as humans, like change, resistance to change is natural, whether you're in a tech company or
Absolutely.
not. And technology adoption is something that everyone struggles with. Everyone struggles with, and that's why today we want to
Mhm.
talk about what you can do about it, right? What can you can do about
Yeah.
adopting technology in a way that amplifies your team strengths, in a way that makes your culture better, right? Strengthen your
Mhm.
culture and supports a human-centric environment and leadership. Because ultimately, everything we've talked about this week, when it comes to different tools and technology, it's all useless unless you have the people factor really dialed in. And it's no wonder that we have this, like that it's people, processes, technology. Like technology is lasting that chain. Like you need to have the
Mhm.
people first, the processes, and then technology comes. So I'm excited actually about this conversation. And Joris, I'll give you the mic now
Mhm.
uh,
Yeah.
to
No,
start it. Yeah.
the bad news is adopting technology is no longer an option. It's not optional. It's coming. It's here. If you want to stay competitive as a business, you want to stay lean, efficient, you got to adopt uh, uh, technology. The good news is the technology adoption is no longer an option. So Uh, so it's a double-edged sword. So um, I think the adoption goes back to I think you touched on this, Anna. Resistance to change, and the resistance to change comes from two factors. One is fear. Oh my God, if I implement this and if this piece of technology succeeds, I'm going to get fired in 2 months. And the second part, which is not true, and the second part is laziness. I really don't want to learn something new. I come in, I write two lines on the piece of paper, I walk to the warehouse, I give it to the picker. The picker takes the paper, picks the order, gives the paper to the shipper. Shipper packs it and ships it. UPS comes and takes it. That's how it works. It's worked for the past 10, 15 years. I've been doing this, so why would I change? So the I think you also mentioned it, Anna. It's implementing technology systems also requires aligning the human factor of the human users of it. And once you get the buy-in, then you have guaranteed the success of that system. And we can talk about ways of the alignment and the getting the buy-in. in a few minutes, but that's the problem with and it's not just for small companies. I've walked into a $500 million company, 400 to 600 people, and the second word came out of the CFO's mouth was, "Yeah, I love this. We've been trying this for at least 2 years, man. We have a problem with adoption. Nobody wants to use the new technology." So she was asking, how did we do it at other companies? So we can help with that.
Yeah, and what you were saying, like it's really key, and I want to repeat it because again, we are human beings that operate on like the way that our brains work, right? The way that our minds work, the way we work. This has been developed for like, millennia,
Millennium.
right?
Yeah.
And everything comes down to one word: survival.
Mhm.
And in today's world, this is one of the problems that with all the changes that has happened in like with the industrial revolution, with computers and technology and all these kind of things, these things are accelerating at a speed that our minds are not catching this. And for us, a lot of these situations, like they trigger the fight, flight, or freeze response, although it has nothing to do with threat to our lives, but this is how we perceive these things. Like you said, the fear and the laziness as well. It's all about survival. It's all about wanting to expand as little as energy as possible so we survive. So this is how we human beings operate. And that's why I was saying that even if you are in a tech business, even if your people are very tech savvy, they're still human beings. They're still
Mhm.
human beings. And when it comes to change, they still have those natural triggers, natural reactions where
Mhm.
they're like, oh wow, if we get this, my job is done. I'm gone.
Mhm.
I do not have a
Yeah.
job anymore. Or oh,
Mhm.
the other one is working. I don't want to learn a new thing.
Mhm.
So I really, really want to repeat this because
Yeah.
it's it's key for you to understand that this is normal. This is how we human beings operate. And we will share, Jores, like you said, we will share what you
Yeah.
can do to get that buy-in and why it's really, really important. And like aligning your people is not an like it's not something that it's optional. It's a non-negotiable thing because you can
Mhm.
get the best tool ever, but if your people don't want to use it, it's waste. Like you can spend hundreds and even hundreds of thousands of dollars on developing something for yourself or buying a product, getting licenses for products. And then if your team is not using it, it's a waste. And especially in corporations, like we've seen this so much where they spend a lot of money on new technologies, things that come up, and then no one is adopting it. And like everyone, as you were saying as well, right? Everyone faces this. We've
Mhm.
shared this example where in one of the banks, like they introduced a button, then when you click it, it does something that it takes 5 minutes to create something that takes people like 30 minutes or something like this. So it saves you 25 minutes,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And they said, oh, I'm not clicking the button. I'm not, people said, I'm not clicking that button.
I know what
And
it's for.
ultimately what they did is they overcame this by automatically generating it. Like there's no button to push. It was automatically generated whether you want it or not.
Mhm.
If whether this is a right solution or not, we can explore this a little bit later. But
Yeah.
yeah, I really wanted to repeat this because it's so important. And with this
Mhm.
in mind, actually, like if you think about, okay, how do you actually align your people with technology, right? Like how do you do this? How do you adopt new tools?
Mhm.
We've been talking about AI, right? Yesterday we shared
Mhm.
examples, use cases with AI, for AI. So how do you do this in a way that amplifies your team's strengths and doesn't actually replace
Mhm.
your team? And the key is, of course, in what we were talking about, people, process, technology, right? So you start with people. You start by asking yourself a few questions, like even just a few questions, thinking about your team strengths, right? Where does your team shine? Like what are the areas in where they're really great? And then from there, the second question is the other side of it, right? Where is your team actually overwhelmed by repetitive and manual tasks? Things that they don't even enjoy doing. And once you have these two, then you can start looking at what are tools, what are technologies that can actually free them from that manual repetitive work that drains them even, so they can focus on higher value, more creative work, the work that they really shine at. So it's that simple, but a lot of us, unfortunately, a lot of us don't go through this process. A lot of us don't even think about it. It's like, oh, this is the new shiny tool. We just had a mastermind with other business owners, and 3 out of 5 are actually using this new tool, so we're implementing it as well. Or I listened to whoever I'm listening to, and they said, oh, they're using AI, so we are starting to use AI. So no, your business, while we're all people, right? And a lot of things apply to everyone. Your business is your business, and you as the business owner, as the leader, need to figure out what works for you, for your team, for your business. And it's different than what works for us and our business, right? And that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why you start with your people, with your processes. Like,
With your culture.
With your culture, what are they good at? What are they great at? And then what are those repetitive manual tasks? And you eliminate the mundane so people can focus on the exceptional.
Yeah, you mentioned, we talked about one of our previous sessions about culture. As a leader, you need to have good culture. You need to know your company's culture. And this is where you start applying that culture. If you're really in tune with your people, you know your people, before you go and purchase or listen to a slick salesperson or a hunter that sells you this and tells you, oh, such a good tool. You talk to your people, you align with your culture, and then you pick the right technology. That's the first step for adoption. Once you have the technology, then you do workshops. And I've seen workshops really, really, really help, where you get people, you say, okay, well, you know how people are. Oh, you're going to go to the board training room or the boardroom. There's going to be food. There's going to be coffee. We're going to talk about this technology. And then at the end of that workshop, you tell them to bring their work and apply it. You do it with that technology just to try it, just to get their feet wet. And I find these really, really work. And once they try it a few times, they start realizing, oh yeah, actually this does, help me do better things. For example, if you're automating all of your onboarding, you're not going to cut your HR team into half. You're going to take your HR team, have them focus on building relationships and nurturing the culture that is so important to you, instead of constantly doing paperwork. So I find that these things, these help.
So much gold in what you said, like so much gold in what you said, and like that buy-in and involving people early, like your team early, doing those workshops. And the thing is that when you get a buy-in, so like buy-in is actually one of the hardest things as leaders. One of the hardest things for us to do, right? To get the buy-in. And one of the things that we forget when we share information, one of the things we forget is sharing the why. Like sharing the why are we doing this, how it will help we do this, but a lot of times we forget to share the why. And if you have read the book Influence, like you know that one of the most powerful words in that we can use to influence people is the word because. And in the book, there is an example where they did an experiment. So people were lined up to make photocopies, right? And they tested to see what happens. So in one of the scenarios, someone went there and said, "Oh, can I go in front of you?" Uh, and didn't give any explanation, right? And they had a certain success. Like it was not like everyone was saying no, but there was a certain success with this one, right? And then they tried and a few other scenarios. In another scenario, it was like, can I get in front of you because I'm in a hurry? This one brought the compliance, or like people saying yes to this request, to like almost 100%. And then the interesting experiment, the interesting use case was, can I get in front of you because I need to make photocopies? Which is kind of redundant, right? Like everyone is in line for this thing. Interestingly, adding the word because with that redundant information that doesn't really like, why would you go in front of me? I'm here for the same thing, right? It had almost the same effect as like almost 100% again as the one that used because I'm in a hurry. So really explaining the why and using that language and focusing on the gain that your team will have once you adopt the technology versus the pain of today's reality, right? Like this is really like the amplifying these two, uh, and the bigger picture. Like again, why the why is also like connecting these to your, even to your mission, vision, purpose, to the bigger picture as well, right? These are ways that you as a leader can get your team, get the buy-in from your team, and not only convince them logically, but win their hearts as well, right? Like not just their mind, but also their heart. And love what you're saying, Jores, with workshops and things like this, right? Where you involve them early. And what can happen with a workshop is that they can actually see that, this is actually not the tool for us, right?
Exactly.
Which is great because you don't want to buy something, you don't want to invest in something and then find out that this is not the tool for you. So really listen to them, involve them, let them be decision makers, because this is another way for us to get buy-in. When we have a sense of ownership, like we're really more involved in what's going on. And
Absolutely.
continuous training, continuous support, and one thing we keep on forgetting, right? One thing we keep on forgetting, and I had a conversation last Saturday with a few other coaches. We're meeting every Saturday morning. One of the things we talked that day as well is how we forget to celebrate, how we forget to personally take a moment to celebrate even the small wins, and also how we don't celebrate others as well. Like, oh, okay, you achieved this, that's great. Or, oh, why didn't this work? Like, without even celebrating the fact that you got out of your comfort zone, it didn't work. Like, celebrating, you should even celebrate the fact that people went to the workshop, they used they used the tool, they tested it, and they gave you the feedback, and they said, this is not for us. This should be celebrated. This should be celebrated as a team. We did such a great job today. As a team, we evaluated it, and now we know what we don't want, so we can go and find out the thing we want. So yeah, a lot of gold, Joris, in what you were saying, and again, so key.
And you also nailed it. It's a team effort. 99% of the failure of the adoption is because the top down, I'm the CIO, I'm saying you have to use this, everybody has to use it. 6 months later, another tool comes up. Well, that didn't work. Let's try this one. Since childhood, there's one big trait that we have not changed in any human. And if they say this is not true, they're lying. Since childhood, uh, we do not want to be told what to do. Eat your vegetables, go to bed, stop watching TV. As an adult, don't do it this way, do it this way. But when what you said, when you make them involved, when you explain the why, it gives them, it feeds their ego, it helps them understand that, yes, I'm actually a part of it. And then the workshop says, oh, actually, I am part of it. I can actually, I don't have to say, I don't want to use this. I can actually go here and prove it that it doesn't work. And in them trying to prove it that it doesn't work, it actually works, and they prove it to themselves that actually this works, this is good, this is nice. So using that psychology of the opposite of top down, being, especially if you're a smaller team, smaller business, it's easier. Get them involved in the research, do surveys, and say, if you were to automate your this function or your team's function, how would you do it? What tool would you use? Don't just listen to a slick salesperson that comes in and flies you to Vegas and buys you shiny stuff and sells you the stuff, because you will never end up using it. If you don't involve your people, you don't align your people with the technology that you're doing, you will never succeed, or you will partially succeed.
Absolutely. And with the involvement, it really starts from the brainstorming part, right? Where you actually, those questions I mentioned, where you ask yourself, what are the strengths? What are the mundane things? And what tool will help? Yes, you can ask yourself this and think about it before you engage your team. But then after that, do it with them. Ask them what they enjoy about the work they're doing. What are the mundane things that they would love to automate? And even ask them to do a bit of research and bring you, like, what are some tools that can help them remove the mundane, like automate the mundane, so they can focus on the things that they love doing. And again, like, so much failure, because ultimately a tool is just a tool, right? Like, and there's so many great tools out there which they do the job they're supposed to be doing. They make things faster for us, they automate things, they make things easier for us. And again, it all comes down to people, to your people, to the processes you have. And this is what determines whether a tool will be successful in your business or not. Because the thing is that when you look in the marketplace, you will find people who love the tool, and then you'll find people who hate it. It didn't work. It's a failure. Who's right? Well, one team adopted it, the other didn't. So,
and when you adopt it with an open heart, open mind, you find all the good in it. And when you're against it, you will only look for the bad things, and you'll make it fail consciously and subconsciously.
oh yeah. We're not saying that every tool is for you, of course. Like, not every tool will do the job for you. That's why you want to really see for your business. But again, even the best tool for your business, like something that really can help you, if you don't adopt it the right way, like it will fail as an initiative. And one of the things, Jores, you mentioned actually that I wanna it reminded me of something you were saying about psychology, right? The way we work, like the way we humans work, and one of how we also, in addition to the fears and the laziness, how we also hate being told what to do. And I distinctly remember, like, my mom would tell me, "Oh, clean your room," and I knew that it was time to clean my room because I could see the dust, right? I could see the dust, but just because she told me, I was like, "No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I'll do it when I want it to do it." And this is one of the most amazing things about being a leader. It's working with people, and of course, this is one of the most draining things about being a leader, working with people. So I actually want to use this opportunity to invite you to join, be a founding member of our Visionary Founders Alliance. And I will put a link in the description if you want to put your name in the wait list and be one of the first people that join this amazing community dedicated to leaders who are building impactful businesses, who are making a difference with their companies, with their organizations, leaders and business owners who align people, processes, and technology, who understand the importance of leadership, the importance of showing up as their best self so their team can show up. So I'll put the link in there, and this will be a fantastic place where you can build relationships and talk with other business owners, learn from them, share with them. And of course, we also have a lot of materials there, a lot of tools and frameworks that you can start using. I'll put a link. You can go and check the page with the information. Everything is in there, and we would love to see you there. Actually, we would love to see you in that community. Be one of the first people once we open the doors to get there, and because we truly see the benefit of providing even more value, right? These episodes, I know now they're 30 minutes almost, but in that community, we can provide even more value and even help you individually, right? Like you can come with your own
specific
goals,
issues,
problems, goals, problems, and we can help there even more and really focus on how can you build your thriving business. So this was a bit of a segue, and I know we're almost at the time. So Jores, why don't you? Yeah, I know. Why don't you give us the action item from today, and we wrap it up?
Yeah. Well, for the action item today, remember, great businesses don't just adopt technology; they align it with their people. So do yourselves a favor. Go to the link that Anna will put in. Click on the link, join our brainstorming sessions, and we will help you. And as usual, do subscribe, share, comment, and tell us what other problems you've had. If you had any issues with adoption, even picking the right technology, aligning with your people, talk to us. We're here to help.
Yeah, we are here for you, and thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in today as well. Tomorrow we'll be wrapping up a wonderful week of technology talk. I love this one. Like this week was so awesome, and not that I don't love the other weeks, but yeah, tomorrow we'll be wrapping things up. So remember to tune in and enjoy this Friday, another week in the pocket, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Well, you hear us tomorrow morning, wherever you catch us. And yeah, if you want to catch us actually live and see our faces, our YouTube Plandor channel is where you can see us 7 now. Now it's like 7 a.m. Eastern time. So we'd love to see you here live as well, where you can chat with us actually, and we can have a conversation. So
Absolutely.
yeah. Thanks again for joining.
Have a great Friday, everyone.
Have a great Friday.